Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today I'm going to be talking about my personal biggest problem with Quake Champions right now. Now with that said, don't get it wrong, I absolutely love Quake Champions. I have sunk a lot of time into it, and honestly Quake Champions is probably going to be my top 2-3 first person shooters that I'm going to be playing in 2017 and probably beyond. But with that said, I have a few problems that I want to go and address in this video. A lot of people would automatically go to the conclusion that I'm going to be talking about the netcode, I'm going to be talking about the champions, I'm going to be talking about matchmaking, and overall, those are quite big problems and they have to be fixed before this game goes and gets actually released. But I think that these are issues that are on id's and Bethesda's scope. They know that these are big problems, and overall, they know that I have to fix it before this game gets released. But today I'm going to be talking about an issue that I think a lot of new players will really go and relate to. Quake Champions and the whole Quake series is known as a hardcore first-person shooter franchise. It is a game that is meant for the hardcore players, the players that really know their shit. But saying that, as a free-to-play game, Quake Champions is now really stepping into the casual territory, and that casual territory really means that a player has to be adequately prepared before they can go and hop into the game. Now, I think you guys can go and see what I'm leading onto. Quake Champions, in its current state, I don't think it really goes and prepares a new player in order for them to actually have a fighting chance in this game. You see streamers like Summit1G, you see streamers like Dr. Disrespect. They hop into, Quake Champions, they play 10-15 minutes, and they basically rage quit because they don't know actually how to play the game. They don't know the significance of quad, they don't know the significance of mega, they don't know the significance of playing these champions and playing them in the, the correct way. Overall, they're hopping into the game, just hoping for, a blast of fun, and in the end, they're getting absolutely dominated. Now, with that said, there is two sides to this argument. A lot of Quake veterans would go and say, well, these players have to go and learn the game. And if they don't go and learn the game, then that's, a flaw in their own methodology. When Quake is overall a series that it is skill-based and it takes a long time to get good. And a long time, like 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, depending on how good you are with reflexes, with your map knowledge, with champion knowledge, whatever. This game is a game that would take a lot of time in order to get good, and I am perfectly fine with that, because going and mastering a game should take a long time, because if it doesn't take a long time, then overall we're going to go and get another Overwatch, are we? Even though Overwatch is a fantastic first-person shooter, I think it is way too easy for players to get in and have a very high impact. Quake Champions is on the other end of the spectrum, where the skill ceiling is extremely high. However, the skill floor is really low, and this difference is overall going to make the experience quite bad for new players. Let me go and explain. If a new player that has never gone and played Quake before goes and hops into this game, the first thing they're going to go and experience is them getting absolutely obliterated in the first match. It doesn't even matter if the players they're versing against actually quite good. It really matters about knowledge. I think knowledge is really important in this game. Knowing where the weapon spawns, knowing what champions are going to do, knowing mega, knowing quad, etc. The problem with Quake Champions in its current state is that none of this is explained to the current player. Now, again, a lot of people would go and counter, well, Bethesda and id, they're probably working on it. Well, that isn't really good enough, in my opinion, because a lot of new players are getting their first taste of Quake right now playing this beta. And if they're getting absolutely dominated because they don't know how to actually go and play the game, a lot of these players are pro Call of Duty players. I know a lot of people would go and snicker at that, but pro Call of Duty players, pro Counter-Strike Global Offensive players, etc., pro TF2 players, and overall, they're getting their ass handed to them, not because they're bad first-person shooter players, but because they really don't know how to go and play the game properly. Now, with that said, how can Bethesda and id go and rectify this? The way to go and rectify this is obviously through tutorials. I think that is very self-explanatory. But the thing is, we need these tutorials in-game right now. The next beta is going to be live in about 17 hours or so, and I very much doubt there will be any tutorials in-game where players can actually go and get a firm grasp of Quake Champions. The reason why I say we need tutorials right now is because Quake is a series that is trying to go and revive itself. It's not a series that is thriving. It's a series that is almost dead, and it's trying to get, revived. It's trying to get up there in the FPS stratosphere. And at the moment, the fact that players are getting into game, getting absolutely smashed 0 to 25, and then rage quitting, that is one customer that more than likely you will not get back. And I say customer because this game is a free-to-play game, right? You have to go and buy the Champions pack if you want to go and get all the Champions permanently unlocked. And that is what Bethesda and id are riding on. They're riding on people having a great first impression, putting a few hours into the game, really enjoying it, and then they want to go and get the full experience. But if their first experience is absolute shit, then, well, they're not going to go and buy it. The Champions pack, they're more than likely going to go in and uninstall the game. The thing is, with pay-to-play games, if their first experience is bad, then they think, okay, I put $20 into this, obviously I can go and give it another go. A free-to-play game, if their first experience is bad, they're just going to go and rage quit. That is the key problem right now. It's like giving me a maths test before I've even gone and studied that subject. It's like going and just chucking me out into the fray and saying, okay, do what you can go and do. If a person has a bit of FPS experience, they'll be, okay, they might go neutral, but if a player's never played the game before, they are hopelessly lost. That is why the tutorials are needed. Because with every beta that passes, yes, the game might be getting more balanced. Yes, there might be more, gameplay elements. Yes, there might be more maps and modes, etc. But for every beta that passes, more and more people will never go and pick up this game because their first experience is so negative. Now let me go and reinforce that it doesn't have to be the advanced techniques. It just has to be, okay, this champion does this power-up does this, these are where the power-ups are on this map. Go and teach the players how to go and do those basic stuff on top of rocket jumping, on top of how to go and do strafe jumping, and I think they will be well prepared in order to go and actually have a decent experience with this game. You don't need to go and teach people how to go and do bridge to rail, because obviously that isn't a technique that a new player needs to know. It's not an advanced technique because you can go and do it with Ranger. A person went and posted it on Reddit. Overall, pretty cool discovery if I go and, save so myself. But overall, you don't need to go and teach people that because it's not fundamental to the Quake experience. You just need to go and give the new players enough of a base, enough of a structure so they really know how to go and play this game at a key level. The reason I'm talking about this right now is because another game that is in beta, Lawbreakers, has basically got the beta tutorial situation under control. What they've gone and done is implemented tutorials in two forms. The first one is a really quick 50 or minute so tutorial, and that goes and basically shows off the champion, it goes and shows off the modes, it goes and shows off the key elements of the game, but not with any real depth, just enough so the player can get into the game and have a decent understanding of what they need to go and do. Overall, it's really quick and it's really snappy, perfect for people that just want to go and hop into game and really have a basic understanding of what they actually go and do. Now, with that said, there is another implementation of the tutorials, and these are 6 to 10 minute tutorials that is presented by their lead programmer, Matt Fishman. Now, he has a great understanding of the characters since he fucking goes and makes them, so he knows exactly what these characters go and do, he knows exactly how they go and tick. And so with that said, he goes obviously through the basics, but he also goes through the advanced techniques. So nothing is left up to the user to go and find. It's really all there. Now, obviously, since the game is in beta, more and more people are going to go and work out more and more combos, but I really like that the bread and butter combos are presented to the player if they want to go and see it or not. So it's really up to the player and how dedicated they are in order to go and learn the characters, rather than, okay, nothing's there, I have to go and work it out myself. Going and learning yourself is a much more difficult process in comparison to going and watching a video, going and seeing how it's done by professionals, and then overall you can go and try to emulate that in game, and then in the end of it, it comes down to, oh, okay, I can't go and pull for that combo, rather than, oh, okay, this game is shit because I'm just getting dominated and I don't know why. But with all of that said, that's all of my thoughts on Quake Champions right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.